If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
In continuation with the previous session, we would be going with these adjustments and everything,
Okay.
validation and
Yeah.
adjustment. So on that day, we posted some annual transaction and then reversed it.
Yes.
Yes. Then after doing all these activities for our consolidation, right? At each step, business would validate its system, like the postings, the data, everything. They would validate it at a continuous basis, like release time. If there is any upload of data for that particular entity, they would surely validate it. Then net income. For net income, also they can validate it. For reported data, it will just give the error in the log. Then manual posting, again, group data analysis will be used for validating the data. I'll also open group data analysis, and one more tab. Now the next step is currency translation. So in this, whatever the amounts we have as a local currency for each entity, right, that
Yeah.
will be converted to our group currency. Here we see at some places it is coming as dash, which means that whatever is our local currency, that is equivalent to our group currency.
Okay.
Okay. So even though if we try, it will not run. It will not give us anything. But whereas for the other cases, for other entities, we can like run it individually or we can run it in on the topmost node. So
Okay.
we can do here a test mode. We can see the last log also. Let's say I ran this previously. For example, like
Yeah.
calculated income. Somebody ran it. Now we want to see that what was ran at the last time. You'll click here on the last log. It will show you that there is a difference for this entity.
Okay.
Okay. In the same way, we can go here, update it, but we need to make sure that exchange rates are being maintained.
Right.
Let the log appear and then I'll show where we can maintain the exchange rate or who else can also maintain the exchange rate. So in this, there were two entities, 101, 10101, like 1010 and S01. Both these entities have a different local currency. So in this case, it did not give, but it gave some error message. So here in this log, we get an header messages. So in these header messages also, you may get some error occurring on the screen. It could be, might be the exchange rate is not maintained or local currency is not being maintained. All those types of, not local currency, the exchange rate is not maintained. The rates which has been appearing is not proper. For checking the exchange rate, in the meantime, like, okay, see here the translation method is not assigned to the consolidation unit. So first of all, What we'll do, we'll go back, we'll see the entity. Okay. This is something like we have set up the consolidation unit, but currency translation method is not assigned.
Translation method means?
Translation method is basically like uh, the rule, how the
Yeah.
translation should happen. That is
Whether it
not
will
been
take
assigned.
an average rate or it will take the closing balance rate. That
Right,
those rules?
right. Yeah, that
Okay.
rate. So in this case, if you can see this entity 1010,
Yeah.
we see that translation method is not assigned. So
Okay.
we can go here. So whatever rule you have configured, like your
Right.
business would have mentioned to you that, okay,
Yeah.
this rule we would be using, then you just need to select that rule from the drop down. Okay. These all are pre-delivered rule, but in your case, it might start with some any other name.
Right.
The Y and the S series, what you see on your screen right now, that is all standard. Okay. We are using this standard translation here. Okay. We'll click on save. As soon as we click on save, the translation method is saved. Okay, there was one more entity S000. So we can go back on this screen. Either we can drill down or we can just search the entity. So here also we can see that there is no exchange rate is maintained. We can go here. We can maintain that same rate. Click on save. It got saved. Now we can go back to the data monitor and again see like what type of error we can we get, because this is like in your real world you won't get it. Exception is only where a new entity is there,
Right. Right.
right? Because that will be altogether a setup newly. So here also on the top side of this screen you can see which task is this, whether it is run in test mode or update mode, how the data is created, all those things. What is the group currency? See, it gives that FS item is missing the uh, details like sub item category. So we can just simply select that account. Okay. Like for missing characteristics, we can click back on SAP, and then it is like you would get some issue that translation is not working. In that case, we need to check that particular FS item. By mentioning it here, we can just simply go in the FS item, click on go. See the log that
Missing a characteristic.
it has breakdown category, sub item category, everything is there. So we can do one thing. In order to check that thing, we can simply go in the consolidation unit. Based on our parameters, the above screen is updated in the group data analysis. It says sub item is does not exist. So let's check. So all these details which you see on the top, that is all derived automatically, except this period mode, it will come as default as periodic. See, from here we can increase the size. We see everything is at 980. If we go into the FS item 900, 915,
What are we trying to find out?
we are able to find out that from where we have been getting this issue.
And what was the error
That's
message saying?
so error message saying that breakdown category, sub item category, these are been missing. But ideally we have all these maintained. We have 915 as default. Everything is there.
And sub-item
Let's
category means what?
what? Yeah.
What does it mean when it says sub-item category or sub-item?
Okay. The sub item and the sub item category. See, in master data, we have a called thing called sub item category and sub item. The sub item is basically sub item category is basically the transaction type or the functional area.
Okay.
Okay. And in that, like transaction type category one, we have various sub items. Okay.
Okay.
Same way is for functional area also.
So for each GL, all these will be defined.
Not for each GL account. It will be like at FS item level. At, let's say you created one breakdown category. Okay. Whatever things we see in this breakdown in the sub item and the sub item category, that is used in breakdown category. So if I open this breakdown category, here we have partner unit optional, then sub item category S3, that is mandatory. Okay. And one is defaulted. Like if we have assigned this to any of the FS item,
Mm-hmm.
then suppose if in your S4 side you have not maintained the transaction types, in that case, what it will happen, basically it will bring the data without the transaction type. Okay. And while releasing that data, it will automatically assign transaction type as one and default it to 915 transaction type.
Okay.
It is something. Like in this case, yeah. So this is K101. Let me open that. Okay, this is that same that we are looking right now. K101. So here you see it says partner net optional sub item category 3. 3 is basically if we read the text against it, it says entry is forced, and if forced entry is blank, then the default one would be assigned to it.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, and if like breakdown category, like if it is blank, this is for sub item category, but what about sub item? What transaction type it should assign? So if it is coming as blank, then the value default value should be used. Otherwise, like if it is not coming as blank, then the values mentioned in this maximum selection, show you that maximum selection also. So these are the selections. Like I'll copy this selection and paste it. So this is the selection. Okay. This is a master data activity that we have as a part of cutover activity. For example, like uh, you have assigned a breakdown category to an FS item here while creating it. But later words, you came to know that, okay, this FS item, you have missed it. Like the sub item, you have missed it to include. In that case, you would go back into your system and include that here. In our case, it says that breakdown category is missing. And if we go here, YB40 is one thing that we
The selection item is basically what? I mean, what are we assigning there?
the the selection item is basically like we are mentioning here certain details that this is to be the identifier. Like as a, for example, like to post any transaction or trigger any transaction, these are my identifiers that I have. Like these all are FS items need to be triggered. It will system will go back and check that whether these conditions or any of these conditions are been satisfying or not for the FS item.
Okay.
Like uh,
So when a user posts an entry, so it
mhm.
will do this background check.
Yeah, that will do it. It will do a background check for that transaction, as well as like if it is coming as blank, then it will default it. So this is something like selection is not only used for as a defaulting purpose. Selection is used as a multiple places, multiple things. See, the selection is a selection group. So this is basically a group. We are doing a grouping of things. We are grouping all these things into one. Selection group is
Okay.
a range of consolidation master data, typically the FS items, by using the various filter criteria. Okay. The defined selections can be reused in the consolidation related settings, such as
Okay.
validation rules, reclassification method, currency translation, or the breakdown category. Okay.
Okay.
So it is like not only used for one thing for breakdown category, but it is also used for reclassification, currency translation, and validation rules also. Mhm.
So what's the error saying there? We don't have it. It's not defined
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, it says it has not been defined, but we need to check that FS item. We are just identifying that FS item, that where it has been missed.
It doesn't. The error doesn't show which FS item it is.
No, it does not. See here, the breakdown category is blank, which means that everything which is coming as blank from CFIN side, that will mention it against the YB99, but where it is having the value, it will use that. We can keep the breakdown category uh, as a restricted also. Like when we define this maximum selection in the breakdown, okay, it it restricts our data. Restricts as in like if you get anything out of this range, it will give you an error
Understood.
in your
Understood. Yeah.
validate universal journal. So generally, what does business like? What I have seen is basically it it is being kept as blank by the business, so that whatever the data they have, it has been pulled in group reporting, and it does not creates any impact over their data. It easily eliminates or whatever the thing is, it easily happens. See any issue here also.
So if the error is not telling us which FS item has a problem, how will we find out?
So it is giving something like that transitional entry. So it is issue with the rule. See in the entry, this is in the translation method, right? It is saying that it is having some issue. So let's go back to the FS item, the consolidation unit. Select both of those consolidation unit. Okay, let's make it as no translation, or since this is a demo system, that's why we would
Yeah,
get
I can
here multiple
understand.
issues.
Yes. This kind of an issue that will be solved by our IT team, right? It will not be the finance
So
manager, or he'll
you
be
can
solving that,
highlight to
right?
your management, like it will be done, but generally if the issue is not too much big, right? In
Mhm.
this, you know that you have the translation methods that is not aligned, then it
Because
can be done by
all
your,
these things are a one-time configuration, right?
yeah, yeah, these all are one-time activities.
Uh,
So the log is generated. Great. Great. And you got something. So what I'll do is basically, like, since we ran this, I'll run it in update mode so that the data is posted in the backend. So if we run it in test mode now, we won't get anything out of it. Like it will not stored in the backend. So the log should appear. The log tab should appear, and it should, you should able to see some detail into it. At least the loading page should come for you. So here what I'll do, I'll remove everything. See, the translation difference got posted into the system. Let's take a dump. Okay, for taking the dump here, we can just simply click here on the Excel, export to Excel.
Okay.
It will just simply export the data. And here you would be able to see the exchange rate. What is the exchange rate? Average or closing, whatever the case is. Okay.
So all these translation differences will go where?
These all differences will go into your original group currency amount. So let me give you some details here also. Okay. So since here all you have transaction type as opening balance apart from the lower ones. Okay. So let me tell you here a few things. The amount in LC is local currency. Then we have here GC, group currency.
Yeah.
Here, the value where C you have that what we say that, like for example 915, whatever comes here apart from that 980 transaction type, here it is not appearing properly, but this sub in this, if we have, if 980 is there, then that is CT difference.
980 is what?
980 is basically your currency translation difference, the sub item. The If you remember, I told this thing that uh, sub items is basically like an audit trail. If you remember, these are sub items. So wherever we have that currency translation difference, it will go and have this as their uh, sub item value in this log. In this log here, in place of 900, let's say, or how should I do? For example, like you had LC as 1000, it has a sub item category as 915. Okay. In your case, your exchange rate was like you are converting to EUR to USD. Okay. And you have given that this is my balance sheet account. Okay. Balance sheet account.
Okay.
And sub item category is 900, and my average rate is, it is 1.25.
Okay.
But the value which I bring from CFIN, that says that it is 100, this amount. Like this rate is 1 EUR to 1 USD. Whatever, like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
it it can be like vice versa. Let me make it vice versa. That will be easy. USD to 1 EUR. Okay. So now this rate matches. So now what system will do? It will just calculate it. Your average rate was 1.20
In CFIN,
in CFIN at the time of posting M rate.
I mean,
In CFIN, like we are
assuming
bringing
that
the
when we are bringing in the data, we're bringing it in USD.
right. It is bringing USD as well as the local currency.
Okay.
Okay. So when the local currency is been bringed in group reporting, so in that case, at that time of posting of transaction, it was 1.25. Okay. This rate is your AVG, that is average, and END is the closing.
1.25 is the rate which we are going to take for translation in group reporting.
Yes.
And at CFIN level, they had a different rate.
Yeah. They have a different rate because in CFIN, like that is a day-to-day transaction.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
will have that a different rate. Okay. Let's say
So
in this
if
above.
if we hadn't brought in the data from CFIN in
Hmm.
this group reporting currency, this wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah, right. This wouldn't be any issue. It will
Right.
just give you as an dash, and then we would here assign an different method, currency translation method. I go back and show you the translation methods which SAP has given.
So for each consolidation unit, there will be a translation method.
Yes, we can use same
For example,
translation method multiple places.
if we are bringing the data from CFIN without translation, it will have a
Hmm.
different method, and if we
Yes,
are bringing it with translation, it will have a different method.
yes, exactly. So in this case, if you see, there is standard translation. See this S4 accounting GC without translation.
Without retranslation, yeah.
Yeah. So it will not retranslate. It will keep what it is having it into it.
So whatever comes in, it will take that as it is.
Right. Whatever the group currency it has, it will take it.
Okay.
Okay. In this case, like if we don't bring that group currency into GR, then what it will do, system will automatically calculate it like 1000
Into
divided by
1.25. Yeah.
1.25. So it
Yeah.
will be your average rate.
Right.
Whereas the translation reference amount is what it will be, 1000 divided by this amount. So this should be our closing value for our balance sheet account. Okay. So there is a difference.
Right.
How much difference? This minus this. It is for translation difference.
Right.
Okay. And this translation difference will grow in group reporting, sit at 980 in this
Okay.
account with this same amount. So when you see in total, okay, when you
Yeah.
include the sub item 980, it will give you the closing values, closing amount.
Of
But
the entity.
right, of the GL account and the entity
Okay.
also.
Yeah.
Okay. But if we exclude 980, it will give you the values at average rate.
Okay. So this
Okay.
980 is what, a GL account or just
No, no, 980 is sub item. This is basically like
okay.
these are the audit trail you can understand.
Right.
Like when we do an audit, we understand that, okay, so in this case also, like how would you know that at what level this transaction has been posted? You
Right.
would able to understand it by sub item, and the like in sub item also you need you would be like knowing it by that, okay, 915 is my net variation and 980 is my currency translation difference.
Understood.
So
Understood. Yeah.
whatever goes on 980, it is all my translation difference.
So when let's say the translation is done for balance sheet and P&L items, so
Mhm.
the TV, of course, the TV will not match. The that difference will be
So
there.
for that, there
So
is one
that
account.
final difference, where does it go? Which GL account does it go?
There is one FS item called uh, diff CT diff 3318.
That will be a group reporting GL, right?
Yeah, that will be group reporting
Defined at
account.
group reporting. Yeah.
Right. If we have been having that translation in group reporting, then that will be a group reporting account. Otherwise, it will set out of it. See this account.
Okay, so this will be a balance sheet item, right?
Yeah, this will be a balance sheet item and it will be part of your retained earnings.
Okay.
Okay. and also identifying that whether that amount needs to be translated or not. That is all dependent on the selections. See, for if I see for balance sheet other items, non other financial liabilities, it should always be done at closing rate in your reported financial statement.
Right.
So you need to mention those translations, like how it should be, whether it should be at closing rate, whether it should be non-converted. Like we have lots of options:
Right.
historical, NCI, average rate, whatever. It depends scenario by scenario. It will depend. Like for all balance sheet, but for retained earning, for your capital investments, it will be a historical. But it all depends on business. If they want to go with a different approach, they want to restate everything at their closing, then there that can also be done. Okay, while
Right.
defining the FS item, they can do it. Or later words, if they find that okay, we want to change this, they can simply edit that FS item. There would be some user who would be having access to this define FS item app in edit mode.
Okay.
Okay, so you can reach out to them, the business discussion. So this is how your translation would be generated and calculated. Both these amounts are not being posted in group reporting. Okay, it is just used for calculation purpose. Okay, and this is just used for your actual postings. This is difference,
Right.
and this is your CLO rate value. Okay, just the
Okay.
value and just the difference, and the actual posting happens at this level. Sub item 980. But the cases where uh, the group currency value is not to be, like, I can say it as case one. Let's take the case two. Suppose
Where
you
we are only importing the local currency.
know case two is like uh, in the case one, right? That is your local currency data only be pulled. We did not
Okay.
translate it. And here the rates, what you see, the exchange rate, that will be this average rate. Now I'm taking an example uh, where it
If
says
we
that,
did not take the if we only took local currency in the first case, then why is there a difference?
then why it is.
Why is there a difference?
So there will be a difference, na? Like, okay, that difference will be because your this amount, the group currency amount at 915, it will be converted at average rate first. It will be converted at average rate first, just to show you your balance
Okay.
without closing balance revaluation.
Even the balance sheet items will be converted
Yes,
with average
yes,
rate.
yes. It will be converted once, but when this 980 would come, the CT difference, it will be totaled at closing rates in total. This case like this. So here also, see, this 900 915 is there. 915 is the posting. let's do an topside posting here, just to show you what it will happen. Okay. We have here both the balance sheet accounts. We'll create, we'll go back, we'll update it. Like, it will not have any impact there, but yeah, here, update, and refresh here also. See, this was the account that we picked. It converted everything at closing rate. It is not giving 915, 980, because the group currency is not been bring in group reporting.
Right.
So just to make you a little bit more easily understand it, okay. So whatever is coming at 0F, that is all released from CFIN. But in our case, nothing is released from CFIN. It has some difference. So you can see here, see this 980 YB99 sub item category 2. Ideally, when we release the data, it should have some value into it. Here,
In
group
group
currency
repo-
value.
in group currency.
Yeah, in group currency also. Since we are not bringing that group currency in group reporting, that's why it is coming as blank.
Right.
Okay, and due to that reason, this 980 is not appearing into our group data analysis also. Suppose if I would have posted a new transaction in that same account, like that we posted with a reversal transaction. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll take a different, let's say 16 I have taken. It is asked me for local currency and group currency. I'll add it here. Okay, this entry got posted. I can see this entry here in group data analysis, document type 16. Now I'll go here, update that. Acha, this consolidation unit itself is not bringing. Okay.
And 15,000 is there.
No, no, it will not come for this because it has been like separately been mentioned, right? We have manually mentioned it, so it will not have any impact on the calculation. See here, 10,000. Ideally, the group currency should be this amount. It is going to 915 due to some other reason, and it is reversing also. So something with the rule setup.
Right.
So ideally, it should go with the different transaction type. 1 minute. Just give me a minute. Let's check and test it. Just for you to view that data, give that visibility. Yes, 101.
When you posted that entry, you posted it in group reporting, right? You didn't post
Yeah,
it
yeah,
in.
I posted in group reporting. Ideally, it should get translated, but give me a minute.
No, what I'm saying is, if we're talking about bringing in the data from CFIN, then we should be posting it at the entity level in CFIN, right?
Yeah, yeah, but for the simplicity, that will also calculate
Mhm.
your group currency difference in that case also. Even though if it has been posted in group reporting, because it you have an option to post it in local currency as well as in group currency. So it is not only like posting it in one currency will make a difference. It should be like uh, it can be vice versa also. Like if even if we post it in group currency also, if the translation methods are not been set up properly, it will go at 915 for any other sub item. But
That's
ideally,
okay.
as per
That's okay. What I'm asking is, my point is, if we are making an entry in group reporting, it will
Mhm.
it will go and hit the individual entities books.
Yeah, that will go hit in individual entity books in only in group reporting.
Okay.
Only in group. It will not be right back. No, it's not coming up. Yeah, I think it is issue with the system.
That's okay. Let's move forward.
Let me make that change again. Make it to okay. Then again we have that this step is given, but this is not been required. This is not required at this level. But in consolidation monitor, we would be requiring this step.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have this standardized data validation. This is run at group currency.
What kind of validation checks will be there?
The same validation checks we have, like it depends on the business. If they want to use a different validation method or different validation rules for group currency, then they can use it. In our case, we have been using the same validation methods that we used previously. So it is using SRD1. So you can see all the successes there. That trade receivable should be more than that, all those things.
Okay.
Okay. Whereas you may get some error here, system failure or error also, like in this, the group currency is not been matching with the local currency. Like right hand side is not equal to the left hand side, but
Right.
in group currency. Once all these activities are performed and we are all set, then we can like go either from here to the consolidation monitor, or we can just go to the SAP homepage, look for the app consolidation monitor. So since we have filtered on one consolidation group, it is appearing in this way. But if I remove this and click on OK, I'll be able to see all the consolidation groups. The only what I would say is like manual activity, too much manual activity is starting from this prep for group changes and going ahead.
Okay.
All these activities, if I ran it on the topmost group, like
Mhm.
CG01 or CG0, I know that this is the topmost group which I
Right.
have into my whole consolidation. If I ran it here, it will run it for all the all the below groups.
Okay.
Okay, but for this preparation for group changes, calculate net income, calculation of investment eliminations, it will all be a manual activity for each task, for each consolidation group.
So we have to
Let's say
run
I
it
have,
one by one.
yeah, one by,
Mhm.
okay. So that's why I'm just filtering it here back. And here we are not been able to see data by entity. It will be always ran it by group. Even though the postings would happen at entity level for eliminations part, okay. Since we are heading towards the elimination, let me show you that slide.
So in consolidation monitor, the first activity is elimination.
Yes. So the first thing for from elimination point of view is like identify the intercompany transactions that will group reporting will do, but we need to keep in close eye on our intercompany accounts whether the trading partner is populating for all the transactions or not, whether sales profit pi is there is no duplication in the fs items, like you are not using the same selections at multiple places. Ideally in your case it will not be there, but just for an check that the selection part which we have been looking. See, we have given this selection. Okay, this is selection attribute, and this is called a selection. This selection plays a very important role when we view at the configuration thing in
Sorry,
group
once
reporting.
again, which selection? What was that again?
So it is y dash
Okay.
I. Yeah. So it depends. Like your business might create some another document type,
Mm.
another selection with a different naming convention. So that will be relevant for you. Okay. Now I'll go back to the reclassification method. We have here multiple types of reclassification method. All are different from each other. I'll go in the first one. I see sales elimination. So in this sales elimination, what we see is basically like when this rule should be triggered, whether it should be ran it on periodic basis. If yes, then what should be the consolidation frequency? If not, then it will be all year to date. Where where the posting should happen, how it should be triggered, all those things.
When
This is
eliminating.
this is like I'll go in that elimination part, but this is a basic configuration that a developer would be setting up. Okay, then the next thing that we have is
Reclassification is what? In what context are we talking about?
the reclassification is context with the IC eliminations. IC elimination is your intercompany eliminations.
Yeah, yeah. So reclassification means what? Reclassification of what?
Your elimination postings, intercompany transactions elimination. Reclassification is just we are reclassifying the transactions from our uh, intercompany transactions. reclassifying it, posting it to an uh, another item.
So in one books it's payable, and in the other books it's receivable,
Right.
right?
So it will go by company code. It will not go by receivable and the payable. Like you have an transaction in our case, you had a transaction for this another entity. Let's say this entity. Okay, in this you have a payable.
Yeah.
Okay, this payable will get eliminated. Okay, and posted to an offset account. If you
Okay,
remember
okay,
our
understood,
initial
understood, understood. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
this thing,
Okay, okay.
right? It will happen like that. So reclassification is nothing but it it's a
Moving it to the offset account.
offset
Whatever offset
accounts.
accounts are
The-
defined.
Right. Not the
Okay.
offset account. You can say it by offset account, but it is much more related to the IC eliminations. You can say it like that. Like everybody would understand it that reclassification means IC eliminations.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Okay. So here you see one trigger is there. Trigger means is basically like what all FS items, what all sub items, what all things it should consider for elimination. Okay, it is something like a selection criteria. For example, like you went to a, mall and you have your own list that okay, I want to go to an mall. I want to purchase certain types of grocery item.
Yeah,
Let's say you wanted to buy vegetables, uh, you want to buy some chips. So how would you do it? You are having your criteria that okay, in chips I want to eat that chips,
right.
particularly chips or particular cold drink only I want to drink. So this selection is something like that only. And selection trigger is basically like it will trigger you that
Right.
okay, I have my things in my idea, like in my to-do list, and I want with these specifications.
Got it. Got it.
Okay. So based on that, it will pick the FS item. Okay. And in each FS item, let me take a step back and show you. So this is your FS item. This you want to purchase in simple layman if I would tell you
Yeah, yeah.
that based on that selection, based on all these selections, I will pick this product or account.
Okay.
Okay. And in this account also, I would have one more criteria is the eliminating it. Since this is an intercompany account, we need to first of all make sure that partner unit is coming first thing for the transactions from CFIN. Second, the elimination selection should be mentioned against it. And the third thing that we need to keep in mind is elimination target.
What's that?
Elimination target is the offset account.
Okay.
Okay. So it is like a chain. So in your case, like eliminations account would be identified by business, but the coming of partner unit from CFIN side, that will be a question. Like how you set up your breakdown categories. I'm going into much detail in this FS item, but the FS items is the main thing in the whole
Yes.
consolidation part. Because here, suppose if we have a breakdown category as 4, okay, then it will say that breakdown partner unit is mandatory from transaction that we receive from CFIN. We can't
Okay.
overwrite it.
Right.
Even we can't even manually input those things in group reporting. So therefore we give as 4 in the breakdown category. So here I'm just connecting the dots. So here we have 1. So 1 means here is breakdown category is optional. If it is coming or not coming, that is fine. If it is having, it will come. If it is not, then we can leave it. But when we say that 4 4 is basically like entry is forced from CFIN and default will not be allowed. Like in
Right.
group
Right.
reporting, we have an FSI, we have an consolidation unit that we can set as a default. Okay.
Right.
So we are not forcing that to happen in group reporting if we select 4. It is, we are giving that mandatory condition that it should have.
And this information should come from CFIN.
Yes, this information should come from CFIN or it should come from your a flexible upload template also in some cases.
Where
Like,
the data is not maintained in
yeah,
HANA.
data is not maintained in CFIN.
Okay.
But it's all like a restriction. Even though if we post some transactions, some top side adjustments for intercompany account, let's say you came to know that, okay, my this particular FS item was an intercompany account, but was missed by the CFIN team. Then also in group reporting, it will bring you a restriction that it should
Mhm.
have trading partner maintained in group reporting. You can't make it as optional. You have to mandatory put it if it is 4.
Okay.
For 2 and 3, it is like if it is coming as blank, then it will assign the default values. Like I go back, there is one default. In this, we have partner units. So you can see that we have only one dimension, Y1, in company code description. We can select here any other company code, but it's ideal and to keep it as a separate with a separate name so that everybody knows that, okay, this is my separate entity, and that is only used for trading partner thing, defaulting the trading partner.
Got it. Got it.
Okay. If you want to create a new partner, then you have to define a new consolidation unit. You have to define a new consolidation unit, and that will appear in that app. Fine.
Right.
Okay. This is one thing. So by doing all these things, right, when you are setting up a new FS item, your business says that, okay, I have to set up a new FS item. You have to set up a new FS item, and that should be like an elimination of sales should happen. So your next question would be in that, like, okay, I'll do it. What should be the target account? Whether I should use that same target account or should I use a different target account, the offset account.
Right.
Okay. So business might come and say that create a new FS item. It's all possibility,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Absolutely.
generally it would not happen. But it's all possibility. So the best thing you can do it, you can go into the define FS item app. There you have multiple filters here on the top, like by FS item type, breakdown categories, version, fiscal year, then currency translation selection, elimination selection, and the elimination target, the offset account. So by all these things, you can filter out your data. Like in the current case, I filtered out by elimination selection. Okay. This elimination selection, I have taken it from my list of requirement,
Okay.
the selection, define selection. So I filtered out based on that. And I just simply selected that, identified, okay, which FS item is similar to that. I can copy, create whatever I want to do. I can create these FS items similar to it.
Oh,
Okay. Now going back. So you identified that, okay, this is my main trigger. This is my main selection criteria that I need to follow. I'll follow it. Okay. Now the thing comes to is the elimination part. Here we have two things, source and destination. So in this selection, basically we define if source is blank, which means that it will reverse in the main FS item. Okay. And post in the elimination trigger FS item. That is that offset account,
okay.
particularly to that offset account, this account.
If there is no value,
If there is no value, no, it will be like it is defaulting it. We are saying that it will always go to this trigger item,
okay.
trigger FS item, uh, elimination target account. Okay.
All right.
Then we have percentage for all the IC eliminations. We are not required to look into the percentage part. Only the normal eliminations. For COI part, we will come back and see the eliminations with percentages also. Okay. So till here
Okay.
we have all the elimination rules. We can have multiple rules into one rule, like in one method. In this is the main method, but if we see at the bottom, there are multiple rule numbers, rule sequences we have. Like for AR AP, we can give that okay, AR should have a different, AP should have a different. But generally, business used to have that into one, AR and AP, because there is a same selection you would be using.
Mhm.
Any
Yeah.
one, if you want to select it, it will like it will filter out to your criteria. Let's say we see this. See how many filter criterias you do have. You can add multiple criterias. This is I'm showing you only for the BS. Okay. But in
Mhm.
BS also we can have multiple. But it is better to have it separate. Like AR, like all these should be removed. Whatever is coming below that should be removed. We should keep AR and AP with document type 2 and this. And it should have sequence number 10. Then 11 should should be for another criteria, that is this, these two.
Right.
Then dividend receivable payable. So the reason why it should be a different is basically like by seeing at the elimination, you would identify that okay, this is the elimination, but in the log, when you go to the log, when the log is generated for all these activities. I don't think we have any data, but let's see.
By just looking at the selection, we'll come to know what kind of elimination is this.
Right, right.
Right.
But see here we have, okay, we can do something here for balance sheet eliminations. So by selection as well as the sequence number, when the log is generated, a sequence number will be generated in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay, in that you would be able to see the sequence number, then all the details. Yeah, it will not give. Actually, there are some challenges in the system. So this is an another app, define master data for consolidation fields, where you can see what has been created in CFIN. Okay, in CFIN side, whatever is created in group reporting, accounts or master data, material number, controlling area, chart of account, anything you want to see, you can see it. If you want to see it at individual level, that also you can see it.
What we are creating a profit center.
Actually, I'm creating a profit center in group reporting. Ideally, it should not been created in group reporting, but since we are getting some system issues, right, for other reasons in group reporting, we are getting. Ideally, for you, it will be always CFIN. And why this is giving an error? There is some system issue.
Okay, let's move forward. Let's go to the next
Okay.
step. Yeah.
Okay. Then we have here again a manual eliminations. Okay, but this is generally like two-sided eliminations that we can have. So two, whatever starts with the document type two, that is all two-sided eliminations that we have. Okay, 21 is reversal, like it will get reversed in next period, whereas 22 is no reversal, like it will not get reversed in the next period. So here we need to specify the entities. Let's say 101, then here I just want to mention 1710. I'll not post that transaction, but I just want to show you. Okay, so this is what we have, and here we will mention the FS items, the intercompany FS items particularly. Like we took one.
We're still in the elimination step, right?
Yeah, I'm still in that manual elimination step. This, okay.
So we started with
I
the
started with the sales and balance sheet eliminations and the dividend eliminations.
right,
Okay. Now, if we have any top side eliminations that we need to work on it, we want to post it,
right.
then we should go into this manual elimination. So here also we need to open that. We need to like mention here document type consolidation unit 1, 2, and here it should also have one more thing, that is your consolidation unit 1 or 2. Like this criteria should come on the face. This. So where it should eliminate first, like this transaction is for consolidation unit 1 or 2. So if we keep it as untick, it will be part of elimination entity 2.
Okay.
Okay. Signage and everything needs to be taken care here. Like if we have posted in any other entity, then it should have a reverse sign. Like negative sign it should have, so that entry is balanced. Also, before posting it, we should keep click on that check icon, so that whatever the data we are posting, we get some basic check from the system. Okay.
Okay.
1 minute.
So this is a manual entry that we are posting.
Yeah, this will be a manual entry that we would be posting. It totally depends on us, like whether we want to post it or not.
We'll also give the elimination target over here while posting.
No, we won't be giving the elimination target. We won't. For example, like let's give some dummy entry. Let's go back in group data analysis, refresh it, bring both the entities. And this elimination would always happen in group currency. It will not be in local currency. You can see for both the accounts, it did bring some values, but for one it got eliminated. Local currency is coming by 1 minute. Now see this entry. See, we posted at 21, right? Then it is, we did not mention the sub item. That's why it is coming as YB99. And the posting is here. We posted negative for 1700
Yeah.
and 10.
21 was what? That category?
Document type. 21 is
Mm,
document type.
okay. This
See, it
21
says
means it will not get reversed in the next period.
yes, it will reverse in the next period.
No, 21 will not reverse or 21 will reverse.
21 will reverse. 1 minute. Yeah. Reversal.
Okay.
Okay. And this is for partner unit. This. So here we can see that, okay, this transaction got posted, which is eliminating the sales. It will not have any impact on the clearing account. It will just simply manually, we are eliminating it. Got it?
So we have posted an entry to eliminate the sales.
Right.
Okay. I think we have made it too simple over here.
Yeah.
The other account, the account in the other entity should have been some purchase account, right?
Yeah, that should be
Yeah.
a purchase account, but it all depends. Like generally business are not been having those purchase accounts. They would, if it is a manufacturing entity, then they would not have a one-to-one mapping with their purchase.
I mean, if it's a sale of one entity, then it's a purchase of the other entity.
Yeah, then in that case, like, but it all depends upon the FS items they use
Right.
or the GL accounts they have, whatever. Like it is truly dependent on the business.
And then there will be also this profit element that we have to consider, right? When we're
Yeah.
doing elimination.
So it depends upon the business. Like for profit eliminations, it all depends on the business, how they want to view their intercompany transactions. So PII thing is a different thing, profit and inventory. So profit and inventory, like if they have any inventory in their books, then it should get eliminated, but it has some manual postings. It should be always like 10% markup for all the postings. It should not be a separate thing. Like you sell one item at 10%, you sell one item as 20%. At
Hmm.
some places, it will be a different thing. PII.
So how this inventory will get eliminated? I mean, this
Inventory will not
the
get eliminated. It's only the
not
profit
inventory,
would
the
get.
profit element. Yeah.
Yeah, that profit, that is all what manual activities it has, the system has into it.
So if we have already defined, okay, this is a profit margin in that
Mhm.
transaction, so
Yeah,
it will not
on that
automatically pick
base,
it up.
like, yeah, that will, if we have like, we need to manually maintain few of the tasks for this. Few of the, we need to upload and file into the system to mention that, okay, this particular product has this much margin into it.
Right.
So there is a separate conversation that we can have, but it is something like altogether some manual activities there. Manually, you need to maintain the percentages, that 10%, 20%, whatever it is, and then it will get eliminated. Otherwise, it won't.
And that profit element which is there, that amount will go and sit where it will have a separate sub item.
No, no, that will just get eliminated with the separate item. Yeah, separate item.
Okay. Can you show me that screen again where you showed me and these the 21 and 22 separate that elimination thing in this
This,
document type?
you want to see that document type.
Yeah.
So, Azam, tell me one thing. You have the access to the system. Have you logged in?
I haven't logged in yet.
Okay. Actually, if you log in into the system now, you would get more details. Actually, in this screen, when we go with that app, actually it filters on few things. Based on your posting level, it just filters.
Okay.
So ideally, when you open that, you get all these lists. So the 21 and 22 is only the manual
Okay.
activity. Okay.
Okay. All
But
right.
it also has some additional posting level at 30 that will be required. But for your understanding, if you're looking at from that point of view, from complicity point of view, then you should refer it here. Otherwise, you can just simply go click on update. So here you can find this document type. This will be very specific, like
Right.
by posting level or the level which you are posting.
Okay. Let's, yeah.
Okay. But it will give you this will give you a complete list only with respect to the consolidation monitor. But if you want to look it for data monitor, then you need to open this app. You would get here all the documents for data monitor, and the name is also like document types for reclassification of data monitor. It's
Data monitor. Yeah.
just see with the name data monitor and the consolidation monitor. Mhm. Shall we
Okay.
proceed?
Yeah. Yeah. You can go to that
Okay.
main
Then we have,
steps.
yeah, yeah. Then we have this preparation for group changes. The preparation for group changes is basically like uh, it 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 is not used uh, in each period. Like uh, it will just post your profit, whatever the profit holding is having. It will post to a different document type for holding and subsidiary, but it plays a very big role when we have the IC eliminations, this dividend eliminations.
Okay.
Sorry, divestiture. Sorry, the divestiture scenario. Because in divestiture scenario, you need to bifurcate your profit for
Right.
that entity. So that can't be done with the elimination part, investment eliminations, because your current year profit will be calculated and posted, but it's not identified separately. So it does nothing. It simply have postings or the total at a different document type for the current year.
Just to identify the profit when we are doing a divestiture.
Yes, yes. We are not sure, right?
Yeah.
Let's say that your business is working in the current month, but down the line, nobody knows that after 7 month or 8 month, your fiscal year is not closed, but business is thinking to go and keep a different sub item, want to eliminate a new entity or want to
Mhm.
include a new entity. In that case, this will be required, preparation for group changes. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have this calculate group share. Generally in rule base it is not required, even in activity base also it is not required, but even though we have in activity base it is required to calculate the group share. I'll just show you that log. So here you see, if we have been using the activity base, then it will have the local currency, we would been inputting it, the local group by group we would been inputting the percentages.
Okay.
Okay. And at group level, it will be automatically calculated.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. But in rule base, this activity itself is not required, because everything will be a direct method only. Nothing will be like grouped. Then we have this enter group share. It is an optional task whenever we have a change in our percentages or
Shareholding.
a
Yeah.
new, yeah, shareholding. So at that time only we need to run this activity. This is also taking us to the post group journal entry screen only. But the difference is that we would be posting here the percentages. Let's say you have purchased an entity sometime back in 2009. So you maintain your percentages, then don't maintain anything for that entity. If till the time you have any change or there is any update to the existing percentages, increase or decrease both ways. Okay.
Right.
And this has
So,
been posted at group level.
what are we going to enter here? If there
So
is
here
anything
basically we
required?
would be maintaining the percentages. So okay, let me go in more detail. So this is 39 is the manual journal entry. At in period 10, we are doing some postings for fiscal year 2022 at consolidation group CGA21. Okay. And for posting the ownership percentages, the SAP has given an account. This, if you can see.
Yeah.
So once we select this, click on enter somewhere onto your screen. is having some issues. Suppose if we are not getting some fields, we just need to filter it.
Asking for a consolidation unit.
Yeah. Consolidation unit, base unit of measure, and also include the quantity. Here the percentages are saved in quantity field. Let's say I mention 1010. I I mention as 100%. So if we have that entity as a holding entity also, we need to maintain its percentage here. Okay.
We'll simply give all the shareholding percentages
All
over
the
here.
entities. Right. Even if it is holding subsidiary, whatever it is,
So
just give.
if there is no change required at month end,
Mhm.
at the period end when we
We are
have,
not required to do anything.
so in that step, we'll not click on the update button.
No, don't click on that update button. Ideally, it is asking to post some transactions.
So we'll just skip it.
Yeah, we'll just skip it. System won't give us any issue. Since this is a
Mhm.
milestone step, the
Mhm.
milestone step is basically like it will ignore. I can give 100% for every entity, but if we post it every period, it will multiply the numbers. It will not keep it as like 100% holding. It will increase. System does not performs any check on this.
What do you mean? I mean, let's say last month we did
Like,
this entry over here.
for example, like I mentioned this as 1000. I'll click on check. System will not give me any error.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have 1000%
Yeah.
holding in an entity. You can have only 100% holding. So system will not give you any error, but even it will not sum total it like in other activities. System
Mhm.
was totaling this. It will not happen. See,
Okay.
okay. And as soon as we click on create, this entity will be create. The posting would happen.
So based on this percentage, it will
Based on this
consolidate
percentage, our consolidation process we can run the IC eliminations.
investment equity.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I have updated it. The IC elimination is something like based on the reclassification rules only. It is been running. Generally, people used to keep that custom requirement only, like the standard rules only they used to configure for reclassification. Since we don't have any data for investment account against the investment account, therefore we are not seeing that elimination happening here in the log.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll take you to that reclassification thing. In reclassification method, there is S2100. When you open this,
Yeah.
We have certain rules given by SAP. The breakup of these rules, see, if we are been having a first consolidation, you can take a screenshot if you want, and also you can refer back to this portal, the SAP portal. If you want, I can give the uh, description or mention it into the chat so that chat is disabled.
I'm not sure. I can type it. Disabled. Yeah.
But fine, I'll share it
Maybe
with you.
you can.
I also don't have that access.
Okay.
So here you can see what all rules are there. Like from 10 to 61, it's all first time consolidation. Like when you have acquired a new entity, it will happen those consolidation. Same ways for subsequent, your net income or your retain earning, current year, the current month retain earning is to be reclassified, right? If you have the
Right.
percentages, like percentages in terms like ownership percentages you have mentioned, holding subsidiary relationship is there, then it will generate the log.
Right.
Then we have capital increase decrease. Let's say your subsidiary increased their capital, for
Yeah.
example right share they have given option, but you have not exercised, your percentage of holding would get reduced.
Right.
Capital increase
Right.
decrease, and in the same time you would also require to change your percentages also. And then next thing is the change in group share, like they have given the buyback but you have not opted it for the buyback, the public only accepted it,
Right.
so it is like that. So now going back, I'll open the reclassification where it's eliminating the minority interest. See, the CI activity here is one. CI activity is basically the consolidation of investment activity. It says first consolidation, then accounting technique is basically like purchase method we are doing, and posting should only happen in the subsidiary entity. And here, if you see the percentage complementary tick mark is there,
Yeah.
as well as this percentage complementary tick mark simply means that you have maintained the ownership percentages, that selection criteria
Okay.
based on which your uh, this account will be triggered. Like whatever the net income or the equity amount is there, that will be bifurcated based on this percentage.
Got it.
Okay, and remaining amount will be posted to your subsidiary. Let's say if we have here 60% holding, 60% holding, then 40% should go to the minority interest.
Yeah.
So for moving that to minority interest, system would simply look into this rule. It will do something, some calculation like at the time of posting as, okay, 60% holding H or MI. MI is 40%.
Okay.
So it will not calculate like this. It will do one calculation here, that is 100 minus the above figure.
Right. You need to put percentage on 100.
Yeah. Like that, it will do a calculation, and it will, in the log, it will just show us the posting date to the minority in the subsequent consolidation. In first consolidation, it will show us the equity part eliminated. This is for equity
Mhm.
elimination, the capital trigger, as the name is also there. Like as we move ahead, investment elimination would be there. Investment elimination would only reverse the transaction in holding, but corresponding to it, posting will be made in current year retained earning, prior year retained earning for subsidiary with the same holding investment amount. Since in rule based, this has not been calculated. Ownership, goodwill is not calculated in rule based. So it will work like that. Likewise, we have mentioned other things. Now going to the 100. So in 100, we have like net income, then other comprehensive income as part of that. So it is a monthly activity, whereas in other rules, whatever we saw previously, like that 41, it
Yeah.
was not a monthly, it was a yearly activity, YTD. Percentage complementary say activity 2, that is subsequent consolidation. And then we have here subsidiary. Like posting should happen in subsidiary. It should be bifurcated in subsidiary itself, so that posting and minority is done in subsidiary there and there itself. But when we see at group level, minority would appear separately in the balance sheet. Same ways like we have that offset account thing.
So in group reporting itself,
Yeah,
the
yeah, that will happen.
financials will show separate minority there
Yes,
for the entity.
yes. And in FS items also,
Is there a separate report which shows all this bifurcation
no,
for the
no.
entity separately?
You can see it by consolidation group. You won't be seeing able to see it by entity, by by entity. You won't be able to see it because whatever the postings is been posted at eliminations,
Yeah.
the from uh, this 60 to 60 and the forward, that
Hmm.
will be all posted at consolidation group level. So let's say if you look at this consolidation group level, then it will show you
Hmm.
that transaction. But if you mention that as blank in this group data analysis, it will not show
Hmm.
you that.
Okay, so those entries will not be reflected there.
Yes, it will be consolidated, but only eliminated data would be there.
Hmm.
In the define FS item also, you won't be having here now the target. Like this is the investment account. You won't be having here the target account, but you would be having non-controlling interest attribute, which has like lots of calculations
This is a
in
GL,
this.
right? It's a GL account.
This is an FS item.
Right.
GL account also you can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But only in the
Group report.
group reporting.
Then you have the trigger, then source and destination. Here PNL should get reversed and target should be posted there. So to look at this account, we'll remove this selection. We'll go to the FS item role. We are able to see that, okay, this is that account, PNL account, that will get triggered. Since
Okay.
this is a subsequent consolidation, investment is not required to be get eliminated. So by this, it will trigger this account. It will post to its NCI account, which is not maintained. But if it would have been maintained, then it will go and post into that account, non-controlling interest. Since this is a demo system, it has some issues with it. And then the last thing, the percentage thing that I was mentioning you, it is also required. If it is 100%, then nothing will be calculated into this log. It will be coming as blank. Fine.
Okay.
And the manual elimination, it is same like we had that
Right.
posting
Right.
level 20. Divestiture is something like when an entity is being divested, its whole balance sheet and retained earning will be divested. Like it will be reversed in the current period from wherever we have like
Yeah.
uh, updated the consolidation unit that it has been divested. It will be divested from that period. Like in this case, we have mentioned as 99999. So if we have like mentioned that divestiture to happen at the beginning of the period, so it will not calculate the current year retained earning. It will just divest the amount. We need to like come back to this Fury app and update the period and the year. Okay.
This can also be done in the that. I mean, this will only be done in the Fury app, or we can also do this.
Yeah, this will be done in Fury app. You need to go there and update it manually. Okay. So how you want to do it, it all depends on you. Like business requirement.
Right.
And then it will reverse all assets, liabilities, whatever the thing it has been having, it will reverse. Also, this preparation for group changes, it will have some data for this entity also, by entity, for which we have the entity which we have been divesting,
Yeah.
it will also appear. So it will reverse the amount for that entity, okay, by this step. It is also defined in that same app. Divestiture. It has some four rules. These four rules. So the investment is reversed, balance sheet, non-controlling interest, and everything is reversed because we have sold that entity.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last thing we have is uh, consolidated data validation.
So all these steps we'll have to do for each consolidation unit separately, or consolidation group.
For consolidation group, starting from 2060, it will be done.
Starting from 2060.
Yeah, this task.
So the above ones will automatically happen.
Above one, if you run it on the topmost group, it will work. The topmost group.
Right. Okay.
Like you have 10 groups, consolidation groups, but your topmost group is CG1, then
Right.
CG2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you run it for CG1, it will run it for all the consolidation groups beneath it. From 1 to 2 to 10, it will run. But for these activities, it will be a manual thing.
Okay.
Okay.
So in your
that is-
experience, companies are having, I mean, many consolidation groups or just one consolidation group?
so actually, it depends on the business. So generally, it is good to have one, but if business has a requirement to have a multiple consolidation groups, then surely we have to have that multiple consolidation groups.
And so what's the recommended method? Let's say if there are two
It
companies
is
which are
no,
not on
it is
HANA, if two companies are not on HANA, two subsidiaries are not on HANA, And there are 3-4 subsidiaries which are there on HANA and maintaining records in HANA. So
No.
do we
So
need to create
actually it
separate groups,
is
or we can do all
no.
in one group?
We can club it. We can club it.
Okay.
So ideally it is with the management point of view, like how they want to view their data. It is with that. Even though if you have a separate thing, right? But to view that consolidated data, you need to have a
Mhm.
consolidation group with where all those entities should fall under that topmost group. The flat view,
Yeah.
like this. It should fall under that. If they want to consolidate their non S4 entities, then they will
Mhm.
create a new consolidation group and another group for legal. But to view at the consolidated level, they need to have a group where all the entities fall under it.
Is it also possible to create a group of 2 groups?
Yeah, we can create multiple groups.
No, I mean, like A1 and A2 is one CG1 group, right? And
Yeah,
then B1 and B2 has a separate group called CG2. So
right.
can we also
We,
look at a consolidation of CG1 and CG2?
no, yeah, we can look at like if we mention that the group data analysis this parameter, okay, CG1, then we will be able to see the data only for these two entities in
So
this app.
if we want to see the consolidation of these 4 entities, A1, A2, B1, and B2.
Then you need to have that topmost group global. If you want to see in total, then this. If you want to see individual, then this.
No, no, let's say there are 3 groups, CG1, CG2, and CG3.
Hmm.
Right? Now I want to see the consolidation of only CG1 and CG2.
Mhm. But that will be separate apps. The separate group you need to select.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can create a separate
Yeah.
group which combines 2 groups.
No. I'm like you want to see both the data in one report.
Yeah.
That is not been possible. You can select only one group. Like in this case also, like let me try. Give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. You can do it. You can do it. But the only thing while doing that, you need to keep in mind you also select here on the top the consolidation group. This thing you also keep in mind.
Mhm.
So a new field is added as consolidation group on the top for you.
Okay.
And based on that, the data would appear for you. Okay.
Okay.
But that will not eliminate like if there is any transaction between A and B, A1 and B2, then it
Yeah.
will not eliminate those things. Okay.
So let's say if there's a transaction between A1 and B2. So in order to have those eliminations, we have to create a group where A1 and B2 are there.
Yeah. So that will be your global group, something like that, where all the entities are under that. Then it will give you a total elimination. But if we have in one group both these entities only, then it will just
Mhm.
show the elimination between these two entities. It will ignore these two entities balances.
The purpose of creating these consolidation groups is what? For the
So it
intercompany
all
transactions?
no. Not intercompany. It is on business that how they want to see the eliminations, how they want to consolidate, how they want to see their consolidated data by entity, by groups. Like you have EPEC, Asia Pacific. So in Asia Pacific, you needed that. Okay, in Asia Pacific, I needed these entities to be part of that, and I want to see a consolidated data for those entities. And
Okay.
thereafter, like I want to see it for US. In US, we have 51 countries, but in 51, I want to include only five entities which should get
Mhm.
consolidated. So it is by that.
Okay. But if we talk about elimination if we talk about elimination, let's say A1, the entity A1 has related party transactions with A2, B1, and B2, all the three entities. So that
Yeah, that
elimination will happen, whether it's in one group
elimination
or
will
not.
happen, but it will be if you see at CG1,
Yeah.
okay, CG2 in your case, that is having A1, A2. So that will only show that elimination only. It will not show
No,
elimination for other
see,
entities.
the grouping is the same. What I'm saying is, let's say CG1 has A1 and A2, and CG2 has B1 and B2, like it's mentioned over here.
Hmm.
But A1 also has some transactions with B2.
Hmm. That will not get eliminated.
So those eliminations cannot happen.
No, that will not happen.
So what should we do in order to eliminate those transactions?
To
Because
eliminate
ultimately
those
it's getting
transactions, so
consolidated.
ultimately you
Yeah.
need, that's what I'm saying that you need to run it at global level. This total level, if you run at this level,
Mhm.
everything would get eliminated for you. And for seeing the data between A1 and A2, you are just clubbing A1 and A2 to see their consolidated data. It is not you are eliminating the other data.
Right, right. Yeah, I got that point. Okay. So if you go to that screen where we do the elimination with all the groups together,
Hmm.
so here in order to do the elimination, we'll have to click on the very first item, this
Yeah,
corporate group item, right?
yeah,
So we'll do the elimination over here.
right. If I do elimination here in CG1, okay, I have
Mhm.
A1 and A2. So it will just
Right,
eliminate for those entity.
for
But
those two
running
entities.
at group level, it will post the transaction, but it will not show at CG1. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
So elimination, if we do it at corporate group, elimination will happen, but it will not reflect in CG1.
Right. If for those entities which is not part of that group, it will not
So,
show anything.
all right, then see you on Wednesday.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
Wednesday, same time.
sure.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.